greetings to one and all. Now we are in the winter season and many of us have lots of questions like what food we must have, what physical activities we must follow, what are the things we should not do. So all these things we will be going to discuss today. Now basically as we are in the winter season, what happens in India or in the Indian subcontinent, we have a concept of Rutus. Rutus are the seasons basically. Now as the earth moves around the sun, because of the position of the sun and the earth, relative positions, there are different seasons which we experience. So these seasons, according to the seasons, we try to follow different regimes. This is called as Rutucharya. Now what is Rutucharya? So Rutucharya is to be in sync with the nature and try to follow specific regime during that period. Now in the Indian subcontinent we have 6 Rutus, but today we are going to grossly think about the winter basically. Now what happens in winter? Many of us have various problems in winter. So let's first just think about the climate, how it is. So in winter there are cold winds blowing or there can be snowfall outside. So all these things, it aggravates the vata in the surroundings. Okay. Now because of this we start perspiring less. Some people almost don't sweat in winter, right? Because of the climate. Now all these things, what happens is as we perspire less, there is vasoconstriction towards the periphery and the blood supply is given more to the core organs. Now when the blood supply is given to the core organs, the digestive fire increases. Our digestive fire increases, which is also called as Pachakagni in Ayurveda. Now when this Pachakagni increases, we start feeling hungry, our appetite increases. Many of the people say that when it's winter, I just feel like eating, I just feel like gulping something or keep on munching something. So why this happens? This is because of the increase in the Jatharagni. Now if you don't give proper food to this Jatharagni, then this Jatharagni, it starts digesting your Sharir Dhatus. And then if proper food is not given, then you start feeling weakness or daurbalya to yourself. So to combat all these things, having proper food is very important. Now what proper food? So when the winter starts or when the winter begins, you should try to add more carbohydrates, proteins and fats in your diet. Now what kind of carbohydrates? So you should try to eat wheat, jawar, millet. So these are the substances which can give you good carbohydrates. Along with that, you should have proteins in your diet. So different kinds of pulses and lentils like moong dal or green lentils. You can have tur dal. So all pulses and lentils will give you enough amount of proteins. If you are a non-vegetarian, then you can try eating chicken or any kind of meat because these foods are heavy for digestion. So you should try to eat food which is heavy or which is Guru Gunatmak. So when you eat Guru Gunatmak food or heavy for digestion, as the digestive fire is very strong, it can function well and it can digest this Guru Gunatmak food. So the quality of the food, what you eat is very important. During this period, you can also add different kinds of spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, ginger. All these things or these spices can be helpful for digesting your this Guru Gunatmak food what you are having. Now there are a few things what kind of oleation you should have in your diet. So you can try eating olive oil, you can try eating butter, add milk in your diet. homemade or cottage cheese which you can add in your diet. So all these things will give you oleation or will oleate your own body. Because many of you can complain of dry skin or dry hair. So when you eat oily or snigdha padartha food, then what happens is it oleates your body and also your external organs or external skin also. So nourishment is very important during this time. What kind of fruits you can add in your diet is you can try to eat all the seasonal fruits which are available in your place or in your country. Like now you can try to eat apples, pomegranates, chickus, if you can get good bananas over there, bananas, papayas. So whatever seasonal fruits are available can be included in your diet. Moreover, apart from this, there are some few dry fruits which can also give you proper energy or proper nourishment. Like these dry fruits are cashew nuts, walnuts, groundnuts, or peanuts, what we say, almonds. All these nuts can give you nourishment properly. Then few seeds you can include in your diet, like zavas or til, or what we call as sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. So these seeds, they have a very good amount of omega-3 fatty acids, and which also help in oleating your own body. Now in winter time, like on the 14th of January in India, we have a festival which is called as Sankranti. And we have a tradition of eating sesame and crude jaggery, or crude, we call it as gur. So different sweets are prepared with sesame and jaggery. Now why this is a tradition or why this is a custom? Because sesame seeds, they have a very good amount of oleation. They are having some hot properties. As you see, the surrounding is having cold properties. So we need some hot properties, food which has to be ingested. So it's a tradition from long time that people even distribute sweets made from til and gur, which is called as til gur. So this is just I wanted to speak or give you an example of how our Indian festivals also try to inculcate a certain amount, a certain diet in according to the season. Because til and gur, it's not advised to be eaten in summer season basically, because it can aggravate your fire too much. So there you have to find a balance of all these doshas and all, how you can maintain or how you can be in harmony with the nature. All these changes, whatever you make, are very important during this change of season. Because you see, like if you see in nature, like if there are certain birds which migrate from one place to another place during certain seasons. Why? Because they want to acclimatize or they want to adjust to certain surroundings. So in the same way, our body also tries to adjust to the change of the season. So as the body tries to adjust to the change of the seasons, we have to make some changes in our diet, in our exercises and all such things. Now what happens is in winters, basically the days are shorter and the nights are longer. So what happens is you when you have your evening supper or dinner, between dinner and breakfast there is a long time. So what you have to do is in the morning when you wake up, you can have a heavy breakfast in winters basically. Try to drink enough amount of water and try drinking warm water during this period basically, because again warm water will try to balance your body and balance your doshas. Now this is regarding the food what you can have during this period. Now what about regime? what kind of physical activities you can follow. So following exercises or doing exercises every day is very important during this time. So you try that you do whatever exercise that you can follow. You can do yogasana, you can go for running, you can do cycling, any kind of exercise which you are used to or which you like can be followed during this time. But sun salutation is also a good exercise which you can do at home without going outside. So 12 sun salutations or Surya Namaskaras can be done during this time. You can also follow pranayama. Anulom Vilom pranayama is best advised during this period. Like you can, most of you must be knowing Anulom Vilom, but I can just tell you that you can inhale from one nostril, close your both nostrils, hold the air, and then exhale from the other side. Then again repeat the cycle from the other side. So it's a vice versa. So one cycle is completed. So following Anulom Vilom pranayama also gives you good energy from the surroundings. Now there are few things which you can follow or you can practice daily during winter seasons. So Abhyangam is one of the best things which you can follow or which you can do by yourself. So what does Abhyangam do, or what is Abhyangam basically? So Abhyangam is application of oil to all your body. So this Abhyangam basically helps or improves the circulation of the blood. As I said that in winter there is generally vasoconstriction because of the cold climate or the dry winds. So when you apply oil to your skin, the circulation towards the skin improves. Then you can feel relaxed. It rejuvenates your body. It boosts your immunity. It also facilitates cellular regeneration. So there are different advantages of Abhyangam. It also improves your sleep. Like if some people are having problems with sleeping, then the use of Abhyangam every day in their day-to-day life during winter season can help them to relieve the sleep disorders or insomnia what they are having to certain extent. So Abhyangam is one of the very good things. So what are the oils which you can use for Abhyangam is you can use sesame oil, you can use almond oil, or mustard oil. So it depends upon what kind of constitution you are. So I'll be coming up to this, like what oils can be used for what kind of constitution. So this we'll be discussing. The next thing what you can follow during winters is Nasya. So many people feel like heaviness in their head or just tiredness or lethargy. So all these things can be relieved by doing Nasya every day. So how is Nasya done? So you have to instill 2 to 4 drops of oil, whichever is advised for you as per your constitution. That too I'll be coming for in my further points. So you lie down on a bed. Tilt your head to 45 degrees and instill 2 drops or 4 drops in each nostril and wait for some time. Lie down in the same position. Then this oil, it comes in your throat after certain time. Once it comes, you can just spit it out and gargle with warm water with salt and turmeric. So this is the way you can follow Nasya. After Nasya, just don't go immediately out or in cold breeze or cold wind. This is what you can follow. So Nasya also helps to improve your alertness, or if certain people are having problems with migraine or heaviness of head, all these problems can be resolved doing Nasya every day. Few people also question me that if we don't have time to do complete Abhyangam, like full Abhyangam for the whole body, then what can be done? So what you can do is you can apply oil to your palms, to your soles and to your head. So this will not give the complete results of Abhyangam, but always like as something is better than nothing. So this will definitely help to improve the circulation and give you the desired results as of Abhyanga. Now commonly a question is asked like how to face or how to try to resolve the depression in winter. So basically, as you say depression, different constitution people represent with different signs and symptoms. Like for example, if you take a person of a Vata kind of a person, the Vata kind of person might represent with fear or anxiety or stress, panic attacks. So these are the things which they represent when they are having some kind of depression or insomnia, which is also common in Vata kind of people. Depression in Pitta kind of people can be expressed in a different way. Like they can be having fear of something, fear of failure or irritability, or they might be like angry. All these kinds of signs and symptoms are generally seen in Pitta kind of people. And if you if a person is of a Kapha kind of a person, then the person might feel sluggish, not active, or like they won't feel like doing anything, just lying down or lazing around or eating too much. All these are the few signs and symptoms of Kapha kind of people who face depression during this period. So what are the things you can follow for such kind of depression? As I said, Abhyangam. Abhyangam helps in all these for all these kinds of constitution persons. So if you are a Vata kind of a person, you can apply or you can use sesame oil or almond oil for Abhyangam normally. If you are a Pitta kind of a person, you can use coconut oil or olive oil for Abhyangam. If you are a Kapha kind of a person, you can use mustard oil or sunflower oil for Abhyangam. So these are the different oils which you can use. Now what are the oils you can use for Nasya, as I had explained. So for Nasya, in case of Pitta kind of people, again you can use ghee, which can give you very good benefits. For Vata kind of people, you can use sesame oil drops, plain sesame oil drops, and for Kapha kind of person, you can use mustard oil drops. So these are the and same. The dose will be like 2 to 4 drops in each nostril. Now, apart from this, you can also have some kind of teas. A Vata kind of person can use basil tea, or in Pitta kind of person can use mint tea. Kapha kind of person, they can use cinnamon tea, or they can use ginger lemon tea. So these are the teas which you can use during the whole day. Following exercises for all the kind of people will also help to relieve your depression. So, and if the depression still persists, then I would recommend that you meet your doctor and take advice from your doctor. Just don't try to follow home remedies and let the problem aggravate. So, try with all these remedies for a certain period. Even after that, if all the signs and symptoms are persistent, then definitely see your doctor. There are few magical herbs which are useful in during this period for depression. So the first herb which is very useful is Ashwagandha. So Ashwagandha has anti-anxiety, antidepressant properties. Also, it helps to for sleeplessness. Like if you are having problems with sleeplessness, insomnia, it helps to relieve this problem. But if you are a Pitta kind of person, just don't keep on continuously taking the herbs. You can take the herbs for a certain period of time, give a break, and then again continue. So this is one of the advice. The second herb which is again very good or very efficient is Brahmi. It also again helps to calm your mind down. It elevates your stress. It relieves your stress basically. And it's also an anti-anxiety herb also. The next magical herb is Jatamansi. So if it is available in a powder form, you can just prepare fund or like a decoction. So how you can prepare is take 1 teaspoon of Jatamansi powder and then add 1 glass of water, warm water to it, keep it overnight, and the next day you can drink it. So Jatamansi, it has very good effect in insomnia or sleeping disorders. Mint is also a magical herb which helps you to calm down, cool down, and it's also an anti-anxiety herb. So these are few herbs which you can use in your day-to-day life during winter season. For if you are facing some other kind of depression, which will be helpful for you. During winter, there are some other diseases, upper respiratory tract diseases which pop up like bronchitis, rhinitis or sneezing, common cold. So these diseases are very common in winter. So for such kind of problems, I'll just give a small recipe or decoction what you can use for and try as a home remedy. So you can prepare a decoction with like 8 to 10 peppercorns, then 1 inch of cinnamon, ½ inch of ginger. So if you can get tulsi leaves or basil leaves, you can add them or add some tulsi drops to it. Then add 1 or 2 cloves and jaggery and 8 to 10 raisins to it. And after that you can add lemon if you like, and have this decoction twice a day. And also you add golden milk to your everyday routine in this season. Like what is golden milk? Is milk with curcuma or turmeric. So 1 glass of warm milk with ½ teaspoon of turmeric or curcuma, and if you like, you can add some honey to it also if you are not diabetic and if you get very good honey in your own country. So these are few things which you can follow for yourself. And one last thing which was asked to me is like what to do about vitamin D, because there's no sunlight. So I would recommend that you take vitamin D supplements once a week to combat or to balance your vitamin D levels. If you are in a country where there's hardly any sunlight, that would be very advisable to take vitamin D supplements. I thank all the organizers for giving me an opportunity to interact with you all, trying to share my knowledge with you, and I hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you once again.